well. I hope you're having a great month so far. Welcome to your 2022 Lessons Learned in Love reading. We're going to take a look at how this year went for you in terms of your overall love life. What were the energies around love as an emotion, right? So it can show up in different forms of relationships. I'm very keen to dive into your energies. We'll also take a look at, what went well, what perhaps could have gone a little bit better, and then what are some lessons that hence you've learned from 2022 when it comes to love. So first, let's check, how did the year go when it comes to love? Yeah, how did the year go when it comes to love for you? I'm going to pull three cards. So I have the beautiful Ace of Wands, I have the Queen of Pentacles, and I have the King of Swords. Interesting, Gemini, and the beautiful Ace of Cups underneath. Have you had a new beginning in love this year? It sounds like you have. It sounds like you probably got into a new relationship this year. If you did, congratulations. I hope it's going really well. I also see that you've really been true to your own air sign kind of energy, which is really thinking clearly, communicating clearly. I think you've learned some lessons in love. You've learned how to speak your truth. You've also learned how to take care of this relationship that you're in, or perhaps if it's not a relationship, like this element of just feeling love and protecting love and wanting to respect it. I think that is way deeper than any relationship with another human being, right? It's more about what is our relationship with love as a concept? Is it something that distresses us? Is it something that we panic when we start to feel it? Or is it something that we openly welcome and embrace into our life? So I think this year there was a new beginning. It could be somebody from the past, but you had a new, very successful beginning with this person, or somebody new walked into your life and that turned out to be a really beautiful relationship which did not overwhelm you. You were able to stay in your own power. You were able to think and communicate clearly. That's really beautiful, Gemini. I'm so happy for you. So let's build on that and see what worked really well for you when it comes to love in 2022. Because those were just the overall energies, but I see all positive cards in the overall energies. So clearly, you had a lot working for you in 2022 when it comes to love. Okay, I think this card definitely wants to come out. Queen of Swords, and I was just talking about communication. King of Swords and Queen of Swords. Maybe you met your divine counterpart this year. How exciting! I'm so excited for you, Gemini. Congratulations. Or it could just mean that you really knew like what worked for you, what didn't, what was adding value to your life, and what wasn't. And you didn't shy away from exiting out of situations, eliminating people from your life that were not serving you well. This is very bold. This is very powerful. A lot of us sometimes have the realization that we're perhaps in toxic partnerships or toxic relationships, or people are like taking more from us rather than us getting anything back in return. I think you were very discerning this year and you made sure that you sort of cleaned up your energy circle, if I can put it that way. What else went well for you, Gemini, in 2022 when it comes to love? King of Pentacles, I think you also focused a lot on long term stability. And I just realized that we've got another pair here, the King and Queen of Pentacles. So I think you might have met somebody this year that really felt at the same intellectual level as you. And it was also somebody who wanted to build something for the future and exactly the way you wanted it, in the way they're not somebody who's here today, gone tomorrow. Definitely not. This is someone who's here to build for the long term. You see a lot of stability. You see the King of Pentacles is a measured kind of energy, and some people don't like this energy for that. But in a love reading, I much rather pick the King of Pentacles, over a Knight of Wands or a King of Wands. I feel, to me personally, I'm sure different tarot readers have different preferences. And if you understand tarot well, you might have a different preference. But I think for me, the King of Pentacles is somebody who's very stable, somebody who doesn't rush into things. They take their time, they go through the motions, they let the relationship build and develop over a healthy period of time because they're looking to build something solid. And that has gone really well for you. Either you've displayed that energy or you found somebody who displays that energy really well. What else? Let's see. And you've been able to get over this feeling of lack. If maybe in the years before you felt like love had always picked other people but not you. I think 2022 proved to you that there is ample love in the universe for everyone, and you definitely got a healthy serving of love this year. This can also mean for a very specific group, small group of Geminis watching, I think you also walked away from tradition, and like you might have entered into a partnership perhaps which was very unconventional, which perhaps maybe is outside of the boundaries of your culture or your traditions or the belief system that you grew up in, and you decided to walk away from everything that felt familiar but wasn't serving you because you were in the Queen of Swords energy, and you really walk towards what does serve you, even though that might be different from what society or family or just the world at large expected you to do. So I think that's pretty bold. Good on you, Gemini. What are things that perhaps didn't go as well as you had expected them to? Let's see the other side of the coin as well, because life is all about ups and downs, right? So I think you did realize, and this is probably what led to this Queen of Swords, you realized that there were relationships that were imbalanced in your life, where you were giving more and you were receiving less, or perhaps where you were receiving more and you weren't giving as much. Let's be honest, we all have engaged in that kind of behavior at some point in our lives. But I think this year you got real with yourself and you took a stock check of relationships, people, places, things in your life, and whatever didn't sit right with this stability, with this energy that you were really trying to build, you axed it out. But what didn't work was that perhaps the realization that there were quite a few imbalanced things in your life, imbalanced relationships. But awareness is the first step. So at least you became aware this year. I see some of you definitely took action on it as well. What else? Let's see what else. You got the hangman. So maybe like timing of things, or you had to put in a lot of compromise also to get some of this stability. Maybe you had to go through the ringer a few times. And I'm sorry if that's your story. Um, and you really felt that you had to give up a lot to get to this state of stability and to get your bearings in order. But this can also mean that you were looking at things in a certain perspective, but the universe brought in certain experiences that inspired you to look at your love life from a different perspective. Now this is showing up in the position of what didn't work as planned, and I'm being very conscious when I'm giving you this message that what I mean is that sometimes we expect life to go in direction A, but actually direction B happens, and you just have to fundamentally believe that obstacles are detours in the right direction. And I quote Gabby Bernstein. I'm a big fan of hers. She's this amazing spiritual guru, and she often talks about like rejection is the universe's protection, and detours are obstacles, or obstacles are detours in the right direction. So I think maybe this year has also made you go deeper in your faith, whatever it is that you believe in. Because sometimes when life re steers us or steers us in a different direction, we really get to have an opportunity to look at life from a different perspective. I think what you might think has not gone in your favor is actually the universe trying to redirect you into a much, much grander path. Okay, that's too many, but I will take this one. I will take this one because you've got the star card here and you've got the nine of pentacles. So I think you were really hoping for something. You were wishing and hoping for perhaps something from a financial standpoint to really build your independent sense of life. Um, I think this, you're still on a journey. This journey you're still on, because I think with this Queen of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, walking away from convention, getting clear on your truth, releasing things that don't serve you. So I think this is an ongoing process and you're still hoping. So why it's showing up in the position of what hasn't worked out is because maybe you were hoping that you would have seen the results by now. But once again, I quote, rejection is the universe's protection, because I fundamentally feel, and this has really worked for me in my own life, that the universe's plan is always much grander than the one that we can think of. If you look back on your life and think about all the setbacks or areas that have felt really disappointing in your life, I'm sure in hindsight, you understand how the dots connect and why that was supposed to happen the way it did. So I'd encourage you to do that reflection towards, right now before the holiday season, to really think about why perhaps you were inspired or motivated by the universe to pick a different direction, or to, perhaps end a difficult relationship and move towards stability, move towards things that really feel like home to you. So, summarizing all of this, then, what are the key lessons that you've picked up in love when it comes to 2022? Let's see. For Geminis, please. You've learned Ace of Swords. I'm going to just pull out the cards and then give you the messages. Three of Cups, really beautiful. Oh my God, Nine of Cups. So I just love it how my spirit guides work, because I was saying that, you're still on this journey of finding your independence, of being happy within your own right. And that's exactly the card of the Nine of Cups, which is very self fulfilled kind of energy. What you've learned this year is that you've gotten very clear about your truth. You're almost victorious on this path, because you've now learned where you are enough, where you yourself can fill your own cup of emotion, of love. You've also learned how to open up to other people, how to allow relationships in. You've taken a stock check of your relationships and sifted out whatever didn't work for you, whatever was not healthy for you. You've also learned how to celebrate and have some fun, because clearly, there's been a lot to celebrate about, like with these two divine counterparts showing up in this reading. I think there's been a lot of cause for celebration, and I'm so happy for you, Gemini. That's amazing to see. But I think you continue to walk this path on finding your independence, finding your self love, and just going within. And I think you're on a spiritual kind of journey. There were two cards in the spread that inspired me to say that. The Hangman, I kind of told you that, life made you think about why this happened, made you reflect on a few things. With the Star card can always mean a card of spiritually ascending as well. So, those are your messages, Gemini, for 2022, and the lessons that the Gemini Collective learned this year. If you resonated with this reading, please hit the like button and please feel free to subscribe to my channel. Take care, Gemini. Bye bye.